Started off working at my mom's house, but I'm still stuck inside my mom's house. Dreaming about 10 bands when I walk it out. Then I wake up, boy, what you talking about? You ain't never gonna catch me slipping. Just wait until you see me winning. And I'ma tell you from the jump, I just hope you listen. Homie, wait until you see me winning.
I'm Tex Armstreet.
I'm Chase Hope.
And this is Absurdity Sports. You know what's the most absurd thing I've heard today?
What's that, Tex?
Antonio Brown might be coming to the NBA to play on a 10-day contract with the Timberwolves.
Are you serious right now?
Now listen, obviously it hasn't been confirmed.
Hasn't been confirmed by the team.
Maybe just Antonio Brown messing around on Instagram. But if it is, I might. If I was in Minnesota, I'd buy a ticket.
I would too. Honestly, I've never even thought of, is Antonio Brown a baller, you know?
Hey.
He might be the definition of a big baller.
Is business booming in basketball? 3B's Big Baller Brand.
Uh-oh.
He's going to be wearing the ZO2s out there, man. I think it's an interesting concept, though.
Because the Timberwolves are a relevant team. They're in the playoffs. They're in the playoff hunt.
Yeah.
Chase, they're going to be a top 8 seed.
Oh, yeah,
in the
for
West.
sure. I think it's just an interesting concept of a player in the offseason just playing another sport. And a lot of people are not going to like it because it's a publicity stunt or whatever. But you never know. He might drop buckets.
What if he's a legit NBA talent?
That's what I'm saying. Like if he can come on the court and play at an NBA elite level or even a league average level, either that says something about the NBA or that says something about Antonio Brown.
And honestly, I'd put it more on it says something about Antonio Brown. You've seen what he's done on the football field. You know he's quick. You know he's going to run up and down that court. It's going to be a matter of can he put the ball in the basket.
What do you do if you're the Steelers? You let this happen?
I feel like if it's happening, there's nothing you can do if you haven't put nothing in his contract.
And see, this thing, I feel like Antonio Brown's the type of guy that's just been waiting for this moment. Like, he's always wanted to do something like this. Yeah. And he's been looking at his contract, making sure there ain't no clauses in there, nothing.
He's going
to go, hey, Pittsburgh, 10-day contract with Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I'll see you at training camp.
Now, but what if he actually plays against, everybody in the NBA is obviously a legit talent.
I'm assuming he'll be coming off the bench.
Oh, of course. He's just going to take Jimmy G. He's going to take Jimmy Bucket's spot.
In his post, he says he's going to be dropping buckets with his buddy, Jimmy B.
Yeah.
So
what happens if they go play like the Cavs or something?
You think he gets a minute?
They beat him.
And he hits the buzzer.
They hit a buzzer.
You think, no, Antonio Brown hits the buzzer.
Step back on LeBron James.
My question is, if that happened, would he twerk at the end?
When
he had that football
would he go
celebration?
hug the goalpost?
Who knows, man? The one thing he can't do, is he can't.
Can he dunk? He's only like 5'9". Can he dunk?
He can't kick.
He's 5'11". Can he dunk?
I'd say so. He's got hops. I've seen him get plenty of jump balls.
I would love to see it though.
I hope
as a sports fan and as a guy who loves basketball and loves football and just loves like big personalities, I would love to see him play.
And what makes this crazy is it's not like Russell Wilson going and playing in spring training.
No, this is a real deal.
Like there's 20-something odd games left in the season.
Yeah, and he's coming. He's going to play at least 3 of them, or being dressed up for 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, he's in a 10-day contract, and if he proves himself, it's kind of like a D-League deal.
You think they sign him for more?
What if they do?
Just keep handing this man 10-day contracts? What a steal! What if he just comes in and starts dropping buckets?
What if they sign him to a 2-3 year deal? Well, seriously. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, I can't.
It's like this show. It's absurd.
I just can't.
But what if?
I can't wrap my head around. I just can't wrap my head around the NBA and the NFL letting one of their players cross-platform.
It's happened with other sports.
Well, yeah, but those guys came in as 2-league sports.
True.
Prime Time and Bo Jackson. Like those guys, everybody knew. It wasn't just kind of like, let me go play football. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I want to see it though. I want to see if he can drop buckets. I want to see if he can actually be valuable to a team.
And I'm assuming he's a point guard, considering his size. He has to be.
If they sign him and then trade him.
Well, the trade deadline's fast.
Listen,
let's trade him next year.
Hey, all those moves the Cavs pulled off. The Cavs were probably like, hey, we want him too.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and send his 10-day.
Yeah, go ahead and
here.
send him. Speaking of the Cavs, man, how about last night? They look good. They looked refreshed. LeBron looked like he was having fun again. Doesn't look like there's all these divas.
The Cavaliers team last night looked like the Miami Heat team of a couple years ago with LeBron and Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, and honestly, this dude, I don't even know where he's at. But Mario Chalmers, man, he was a little brother to LeBron, and LeBron seemed to be having fun last night like he did back then.
Yeah.
When Clarkson hit that three, LeBron's going crazy over there. On the what's it called in basketball? The bench, I guess. I don't know what you'd call that.
Yeah.
Because the baseline's behind the goals. But
Yeah.
anyways, like he was having fun. That was
kept,
stuff
he
you
kept,
did see.
and he kept looking over at Paul Pierce because he was like, "Hey, this might be your night,
Yeah.
but I'm winning this game."
Yeah, and then after the game, it was a nice moment seeing him going over there and hugging Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, it is only one game, but last night it looked like they were playing with better team chemistry. And granted, it's pretty much a brand new team.
Well, yeah, and it's like I was really surprised because I thought they were going to be terrible. I thought they were going to be absolute, just ridiculously bad because you got guys out there going, "Hey, I don't even know your name. It's like my third day out here."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they had to put name
got off the
tags.
plane
Yeah, that's what
20
I'm saying.
minutes ago,
Got
so-
name tags they got to put on you. Like, what's your name? Turn around. What's your name? Let me see what your name. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're Rodney Hood?
Oh, hey,
Oh, my
how
bad.
How you doing, buddy? I'm George Hill. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't even know.
Yeah.
And so, like, I thought they were going to be worse than they were. But if the Cavs can even play at a half pace level of what they did last night, they're going to be the number 2 seed in the East.
Well, here's my question for you: if they're able to, based off last night, if they're able to get it together, do you see a way they storm through the East and they're in the finals, representing the Eastern Conference?
I still think the Celtics are the team to beat because everybody has a bad game. I mean, the Warriors had lost 2 of their last 3. Like everybody has a bad stretch, and they even may go on a bad stretch and lose a couple games. But people still don't realize that one of their best players has only played 6 minutes.
Yeah, and the chance is slim, but there's still a slim chance they're able to get him back.
I think he comes
for
back.
The playoffs.
I think because he's already out of the walking boot and everything like that.
You think he's able to come back and play?
I don't know if they, especially if they're the 1st seed and they play the 8 seed, they're going to beat them no problem. 8 seed.
Yeah, sit him as long as you can.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and so I think you milk it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
even without him, they won 6. They won 6. What was they ended at their win streak of like 16 games or something like that.
Yeah, I mean it was phenomenal.
So I think
they're one of the best defensive teams in the NBA.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, they got a younger coach, Brad Stevens, so he's doing a great job.
Yeah.
But then you got Jaylen Brown, who clamps on LeBron and kind of limits LeBron when they play. Jason Tatum's coming off, and he's going off. So you got
You got a great facilitator in Kyrie.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about like even just the young guys,
Yeah.
just the young guys.
But you also have that good. I mean, I know you're talking about the young guys, but you also have a good veteran presence with Al Horford.
Oh well, yeah, it's like that's what I'm saying. Like
he's been grooming Jason.
Yeah,
Tatum.
it's a perfect balance of a team. You got a bunch of older guys who know how to play, know how to win, and you got a bunch of young guys who have all the talent in the world, and you've got them under these guys.
Yep.
And I think that's kind of what happened with LeBron and the Cavs, where like when you had IT and you had Iman Shumpert wasn't a big like
even
personality
Derrick
guy,
Rose.
but like you had all those guys who had baggage.
Yeah.
IT had to live up to the trade. Derrick Rose had to live up to the MVP. All those guys had to live up to something. And the guys they got now, nobody expects them to live up to anything.
They just
expect them to play.
Yeah. The only thing I expect is Larry Nance to get a high flying dunk.
Oh yeah.
Obviously.
Well, I'm saying Larry Nance. I want the other kid, Jordan Clarkson. He's probably going to drop 15 tonight.
Yeah, and one good thing about this trade is like what we were talking before the studios, like you said, George Hill's comments. You know, LeBron's the Batman and we're all the Robin.
And that's what I'm saying. You got all those guys.
They're built in, and they know it's LeBron's teams, and that's what you need. You don't need somebody trying to take over.
You need a guy.
And they ain't even got Kevin Love.
You need a guy who is not awestruck by LeBron James, but still knows that he's the facilitator.
Yeah.
And that's why it works so well in Boston is because everybody knows that Kyrie's the guy. But they treat him just like a normal person. But they still know that once you get on the court, he's the guy.
But when Gordon Hayward's back,
it's still
does
Kyrie.
It change?
No, because Kyrie led this. Like Kyrie has been leading this team since day one.
I got you.
I feel like even when Gordon Hayward played his 6 minutes and in the preseason, it was still Kyrie because Kyrie is playing.
He's the primary ball.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's because he's on his own team now or whatever, but he's been a human highlight reel. Like I don't ever remember him being this good, this consistently in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And so I feel like now that he's kind of liberated himself and he's playing well, that's what you're going to do. And I feel like that's what happened. That's what is going to happen with the Cavaliers is they're going to be the good number 2 seed. Because I think they're going to get over the Raptors, but I don't think they're going to get past the Celtics.
Yeah, and the Raptors, I think, will give him fits. But with this trade, they've got younger, they got quicker, they got a guy in Jordan Clarkson who can create his own shot. You've got a good defender in George Hill, something you did not have with the IT.
Yep.
And honestly, I think this poses a lot of questions for LeBron this offseason, depending on how the Cavs finish.
Well, see, if I'm LeBron, the team, my home team, has finally done something for me that they've never done in the history of the game when I'm around, and that's put a team around me.
Mm.
I feel like LeBron James was in the office making calls at the trade deadline.
I don't feel like it was Dan Gilbert.
No, I don't think, no offense to Dan Gilbert, but I don't think Dan Gilbert's this smart. I don't think he can pull off all these moves and get all these players. I mean, anytime you can get Larry Nance and Jordan Clarkson in one trade for the not, like, lottery protected
You
pick.
didn't give up the Nets pick. You gave up your own pick that's already going to be a lower first-round pick. And you got rid of – now, Isaiah Thomas is talented. He looked good last night in his debut for the Lakers. But that talent was not with you in Cleveland.
Well, and I think
the play styles didn't mesh.
Well, and I think I don't – because when the trade happened, my buddy Javon, he's a Celtics fan, so we talk about anytime anything with the Celtics happened. And I didn't feel like it was a good fit for IT. Even if IT would have came in healthy, I still didn't feel like it was a good fit for him. Because I feel like he wasn't going to be able to succeed there. He wasn't ever going to be able to, like, be who he is as a player in Cleveland because his personality wasn't going to mesh with LeBron. And I think that's why if the Lakers re-sign, if IT can continue to play at a decently high level, he's never, I don't think he'll ever be what he was in Boston again, dropping 30 a night. But if he can average 18 to 22 with, say, 5-6 assists, 2-3 rebounds, something like that, like a very good player, I think the Lakers re-sign him.
What's that mean for Lonzo, I wonder?
I was having this discussion with someone else, and you take Lonzo as the 2 guard. IT's not going to be able to guard anybody 2.
No.
You put IT at first. Now, this is if IT plays at a high level.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, but the
IT
problem,
at 1, Lonzo at 2.
Problem is Alonzo's just that pure point guard. He reminds me a lot of Rajon Rondo back when he was with the Celtics, but he shoots better.
Even then, you could have him run Lonzo 1, IT 2, switch off on defense. Have him guard different guys on defense.
That's true.
Have Lonzo guard the shooting guard and have IT guard the point guard, and still have Lonzo running point on the ball. It's the easiest fix right there. And if I am the owner of the Lakers or the coach of the Lakers, and I'm Walton and I say, okay, IT's playing at a real high level, Lonzo's dishing the ball, getting rebounds like he always does. That's what I do. I start both of them and then just swap them off on deep. Make sure they switch off on defense.
I mean, you could have a pretty good lineup with IT at 1 or Lonzo at 1, however you want to do it. You have IT, Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, Julius Randle, and Lopez. I mean, that's a pretty good.
It's a pretty good line.
Yeah,
for sure. So I think that, and see, like a lot of people are trying to say that Paul George and LeBron James are going to go
because the Lakers were able to clear up space for him.
And I think I think the Lakers are going to get rid of Julius Randle as well. I think they might trade him to somebody who needs a big like Dallas or somebody like that. Yeah, in the offseason.
Maybe do a sign and trade type.
Something like that, yeah. And so, but I just don't. I don't see it.
I don't see Paul George leaving OKC. Him and Westbrook have meshed so well together.
Yeah, I don't see because Paul George. I feel like Paul George can be everything that KD wasn't. KD was a little more selfish than Paul George is and stuff like that.
Now, KD's obviously, in my opinion, a better scorer.
Yeah.
But it's not. It wasn't. This isn't like it was with back when KD was on the Thunder. Is it Russell's team or is it KD's team? It's their
team. Both. Yeah, it's both. And
it's
so
their team.
I just don't see and I don't see LeBron going to the Lakers. I don't see him.
I don't see, honestly, a lot of people, there's been a lot of talk about him going to Houston, but I don't see him going to the West.
The only reason they're talking about him going to Houston is because of Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Because it's a proven team that can win. If he's going to any team in the West, it's going to be the San Antonio Spurs.
But if I'm LeBron, do I go to the West? I wouldn't.
I might go to the Spurs, so I ain't got to see Kawhi Leonard. But you know what I'm saying? But I mean, like that would be it would be a good fit. But I don't know.
I think LeBron's got a tough decision to make.
Because if I'm LeBron, if I'm going to the West, I got to make sure that my team can beat the Warriors. Because I'm not trying to not go to the finals.
And my problem is, honestly, and this has been, I mean, it's pretty much been just beat like a dead horse, you know. But if I'm LeBron, I'd stay where I'm at because I hate seeing. I don't want to see another KD can't beat them, join them type situation. Yep. And honestly, this could be the 4th year in a row where it's the Cavs and Warriors in the finals. Mm-hmm. And granted, I mean they've been good series, but there comes a point in time where it's just like, when's something gonna change?
I think the Warriors are gonna get broken up a little bit. I don't think Clay's gonna stay. I think Clay might go to LA.
You never
when
know.
He becomes a free agent.
I mean, I'll give it to the Warriors. They were able to draft well. They got the numbers right in terms of cap space. And I mean,
they got a bunch of unselfish guys.
I don't argue the Warriors. If I'm able to go out and sign KD, I'm going to.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that you need to sign the best possible player you can, and I'm not mad at him for that. I just wish that KD would have done something different. I wish he would have liked his legacy enough to.
He was up 3-1, 3 games to 1 against them.
Yep.
You could have stayed in OKC and you could have took him down, but he joined them.
And I don't know if the Lakers would pay the money that LeBron would want, because LeBron is still about his money. Even though he's got more money than anybody knows what to do with, I still don't think they pay him the money that he wants, because I think they can allocate that more. Like, I think that there's times when paying a player the most that they want is good, but for the Lakers, who are a young team and just traded away some of their better young pieces for whatever reason, I think you allocate that money in a couple different people instead of just one guy. But sometimes getting paid and being the guy is good. It's going to work out in San Francisco for Jimmy G.
I mean, definitely. I mean, what a deal.
Like, LeBron James has more money he knows what to do with, so I think he may need to take a pay cut to help get some players around his team. Because if I'm LeBron, I have a $1 billion Nike contract. I don't need any money.
He's marketing himself like Air Jordan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't need any money. I'm going to take a pay cut. Still going to get a little bit of what I'm worth, but I'm going to take a pay cut so we can sign some big guys. But with a team like the 49ers and in football, most people are like, he's played 8 games. I feel like it need to be done.
The 49ers, in my opinion, are geniuses. They had $114.9 million in cap space.
Mm-hmm.
That is almost unheard of to have that much cap space. And you've got a guy comes in. He didn't. You were 1-9 when he took over, and you finished the season at 7-9. If he's there whole year, they make the playoffs.
6-10. Are you sure?
Sure.
All right. Well, anyway, I mean, either way, like, they make them win games. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, because even if it doesn't work out at first, I feel like, because even if he goes through some growing pains, there's obviously greatness there.
And they gave him a deal he couldn't refuse.
I mean, $137.5 million
over 5 years.
That's like, I was figuring up the numbers. That's like $17 million per start that he's had in the NFL. You're telling me I go to a job that I've only done that job 7 times, and then I get $17 million per those 7 times I've done that?
It's honestly unheard of.
But the thing is with Jimmy G, though, is they sign him to this big contract. And it solidifies the top spot on their team. That's what they needed, was a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So now they can go out and they can get maybe a guy like Jarvis Landry. They can maybe get some other big name guys that are on the market. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a Malcolm Butler. Maybe he comes to. But like, as long as you shore up that spot with Jimmy G gave you 6 wins.
You were right, by the way, Tex. I blew a coverage. I looked it up. You made me doubt myself. They were 6-10.
Yeah, I'm very
sorry, guys.
Very rarely am I wrong. It happens once in a blue moon.
You're like my wife. She's
but
never wrong.
But I just feel like because he's going to be a great quarterback.
He's shown.
Yeah, and it's like it's kind of different. Like, because like a lot of people that go at my player Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson was a rookie. This guy's been behind one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Stepped into that system, won 2 games. Then he comes over and he completely transforms the offense of a team. So the fact that they solidify the most important piece to a team these days, which is a quarterback, and they still have all of this money to go spend.
And you want to know another reason why I think they're geniuses? You know who their head coach is?
Kyle Shanahan.
You know who the quarterbacks he's worked with? One of them's Matt Ryan.
Yep.
Had a career year under him.
Well, see, that's the other thing.
He knows talent.
See, and that's the other thing. People talk about Kyle Shanahan's system, because Kyle Shanahan's system is very difficult to learn.
And he
It took
mastered
that's what I'm saying. It took Matt Ryan almost a year to get Kyle Shanahan's system right, and he still didn't get. That's why they went to the Super Bowls, because of Kyle Shanahan's system. He finally
agree.
learned it. You know what I'm saying? And so Kyle Shanahan has won consistently, and now Jimmy G comes in.
He didn't even have a full season.
Yeah, exactly. And then Jimmy G comes in and masters that in like 3 weeks.
You've got to pay the man.
That's what I'm saying. You come in one of the most difficult offenses to run, to understand, and you master it in 3 weeks. And it took one of the better quarterbacks in the league almost a whole year to do it.
It's crazy, and it's kind of like when Matthew Stafford got that huge deal.
Ridiculous.
He was the best player up at that time.
Yep.
There's always going to be another player's always going to come along and make more.
Yep.
And right now it's Jimmy G's turn.
But I feel like Jimmy G. And this is something I've thought since before they even paid him. Because you remember, I told you on the show when we were talking about this last, I told you that almost a quarter of that money was going to Jimmy G.
Yep.
And he did.
Yep.
And so I feel like
About.
roughly. I'm not a mathematician. I feel like at the end of that 5 years, we're going to look at it as if it's a bargain.
I believe so.
Because the cap space is going to go up, players are going to get paid more. And I feel like by the time his 5 years is up, with the numbers he produces, I think he may be able to win them a Super Bowl in that 5 years.
I think if he's there now, I think they win the division over the Rams.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be the one and two. They're gonna be fighting. But I think he might be able to win them a Super Bowl in 5 years if they put the right pieces around him, and they've still got a lot of money to do that, and they're gonna continue to have a lot of money to do that. I feel like we're gonna look at it and be like, man, what a deal they got.
Yeah.
Because I feel like by the time that end of his 5 years, somebody's going to get paid. A quarterback's going to get paid $150 to $175 million.
With the way the market's
because of the increasing cap space. You know what I'm saying? You got to think, a guy like Marcus Mariota, Deshaun Watson, one of the better younger quarterbacks in the league, becomes a free agent even
when they just get their contract extension,
and in a spending happy market, that 137.5 is going to look like a deal and a half. And I think, because I was surprised at how quickly he signed. Because, I thought he was going to probably wait a little bit, get some more. No.
Well, either way, I feel like it's kind of smart by him, though, because either way, in my mind, he is going to be a 49er regardless.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, he knows. He was like, I don't want to get tagged. I don't want to play under a tag. Like, all right, we'll just give you 137.5. How's that?
Deal.
And see, I feel like a lot of people,
and I think he really likes it in San Francisco. He likes finally it's time to shine. They were somebody that believed enough in him to make that trade.
Well, and there was a report that Bill Belichick denied their first trade. Like, they tried to trade with him before in the offseason, they denied it. So something must have changed with
either the offer
with Bill Belichick or something. I don't know, because they only got a second round pick for him. So.
And I still feel like, honestly, the 49ers still gave up good value for somebody who was not, I wouldn't say he was proven.
Yeah, he was 2 game start.
Exactly.
But I feel like he was like, okay, I'm the guy. Like, I want to be the guy. Then they were like, okay, we don't really know if you're the guy. And they didn't let him start immediately. Then they put him in. They were like, "Oh my God, you're the guy. You're the guy. You're our guy. You're the guy that we want. Okay, you're the. Here's the team. Here you go. Kyle Shanahan. There you go."
I think them not starting him helped him though. It gave him the ability to learn the system, not
and
have the pressure of getting in the game.
And I think that's why they didn't start him for that first couple of weeks.
They know that. They know Shanahan's system's complex.
But they also know that it
works. A lot of
works.
moving parts.
They know that it works.
He proved it worked in Atlanta.
Yep. And so I think it's a very good deal for everybody involved. And I feel like he kind of did the opposite of what the free agents over in Major League Baseball are doing. You know what I'm saying? Where he was like, all right, you give me money, I'm signing. And those guys over there, they're holding out. They're like, I want $300 million. I want $250 million.
We finally got one paid. Finally. Took a while. You Darvish.
That's a tough deal for the Cubs.
Just to be honest, I think they overpaid. I think Darvish is a good pitcher, but in my mind, he's not that true ace.
They overpaid for an underperformer.
Exactly.
Because you know me, I love him. I loved him when he was in Texas.
When that deal went down, me and you were texting.
Yep.
Because we were sending texts back and forth, and I told you straight up, they overpaid.
And
like you said, he had that one dominant.
2013, he had 2.83 ERA, and that was his best year. And he's had like 3.43, 3.80, 4. Like
now I know he's had injuries,
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, you
Like-
still got to perform.
The year he came back from an injury, he was 7-5 and he had like a 3.4 ERA or something. Like still really good numbers. And like when he is on, Yu Darvish has the ability to be the best pitcher, the best right-handed pitcher, because I don't think anybody can top Clayton Kershaw when he's on his game. He has the ability to be one of the best right-handed pitchers in the game.
One of the best.
One of the
Okay.
best. Like
I
when
agree with
he is on, like I'm talking about when he is playing at Yu
I was
Darvish's
about
level.
to say, if you're saying the best, I'm about to say, whoa, buddy.
No.
Max Scherzer.
No. He has the ability to be one of the best top 5 right-handers in the game. And because like I said, I saw that in 2013 when he had 283. And he's also been on.
He was dominant.
He's also been on not so good teams. The 2012, 2013, and 2016 team we had were pretty good, and he did decent that year. You know what I'm saying? And then people want to use the argument of, well, he's never had a good team. He played with the Dodgers and got shelled in the World Series.
He was. I mean, the Astros said he was tipping his pitches. If
And
I'm
that's
the
what I'm
Cubs, I mean, we're getting that fixed.
$126 million. Because that's the reason I'm glad the Rangers didn't sign him. Because if I'm a GM, I'm going 4 to 5 years at 80 to 100 million, and that's it. Because I don't feel like he's worth all that money. And I hope that whoever signs Jake Arrieta, I hope we sign Jake Arrieta, but I hope whoever signs Jake Arrieta, because I feel like he may be the next big piece to fall. I feel like whoever signs him is going to sign him for about the same.
I feel like, in my mind, though, I wouldn't call either one 100% consistent.
Yep.
But if I'm having to choose to pay one or the other, I'm going to pay Arrieta. I think he deserves a little bit more money, honestly.
I don't really know if I could choose, because Darvish has been better for a longer time.
Yes.
Like when Jake Arrieta
But
was
when
on,
he- when he
I mean,
stood-
yeah,
when
yeah,
he
no,
got
no. When
off,
Jake
he's been
Arrieta went off for Cy Young and all that type of stuff, he was the best right-handed pitcher in the game and was arguably the best pitcher in the game at that time. So there's no doubting that. Like his, if he can ever get that high upside again, he is definitely.
I mean, he's still been solid ever since.
He's definitely the guy you got to throw the book at. But as far as being consistently good over, like since they've been here, Yu Darvish is the better option. But I feel like Jake Arrieta is asking most of these free agents. I feel like he's asking for too much money.
I agree.
I feel like JD Martinez asking for $200 million is absolutely absurd. $200 million.
He's not Giancarlo.
No, he's not even close.
Mm-mm.
If I'm the Red Sox, I give him 5 years, $100 to $120 million, team option after the second year, player option after the third, make it 90 guaranteed, with about another 10 million to 20 million in incentives over those 5 years with Gold Gloves, Silver Sluggers, All-Star appearances, MVPs, Triple Crown, like any type of award that he could win, you put it there.
Yeah,
You know
for
what I'm saying?
incentives,
For
yeah.
incentives. But I'm not paying JD Martinez. I'm not paying Eric Hosmer $150 million. Eric
It's
Hosmer had a
crazy.
7-year, 6-figure deal from the San Diego Padres, and he's not signed with them. Now, granted, it's the Padres, but if I'm a baseball player and somebody goes, "I'll give you $125 million,"
I'm probably signing.
I'm gonna.
Unless I can go to a better team and make obviously wouldn't be as much, but not that big of a
But I'm telling,
difference.
how can these guys look $120+ million in the face and go, nah, I want more, nah? Are you kidding me?
I think baseball.
There's only one player, in my opinion. There's only 2 players in the MLB right now who have been so consistently good that they can do that.
I'm gonna guess. Obviously, one's gonna be Mike Trout.
Of course,
Is the other one a pitcher?
yes.
Clayton Kershaw.
Yes.
Boom, boom.
Maybe somebody like Joey Votto, because Joey Votto has been very, very good.
And Scherzer.
Well-
Scherzer's been consistent, but I don't think he deserves.
Yeah,
obviously.
You know what I'm saying? But you got guys like that, Paul Goldschmidt, guys like that who are the top guys at their position, not on their team, at their position. You know what I'm saying? Like at their position. Jose Altuve can look $150 million in the face and spit on it.
Yep. I'll tell you one guy who everybody thinks can, but he shouldn't.
Bryce.
Exactly.
Oh, I know.
I mean, you knew.
I know.
He's $400 million contract.
You don't get a $400 million contract hitting 243. Doesn't happen.
No, I mean, you had a great year this past season.
He just has too much to prove for me.
Yeah, I mean, you go from winning the MVP to batting .232.
Yeah, listen, I want Bryce Harper to succeed more than I want anybody else. I think than anybody else wants him to succeed.
He's a great ball player. He has all the talent in
Make
the world.
baseball fun again.
Yes.
But like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's a guy who's putting a jolt into the game. I feel like he is to the game now what like A-Rod and those guys were to the game at a younger time, like King Griffey at a younger time. Like he is to this generation below us.
He goes about his business, but he provides that spark, that interest. And I'll tell you when I fell in love with
He doesn't know how to throw helmets, but he provides a spark.
Yes, and I'll tell you what made me fall in love with Bryce Harper. I hate the Nationals. I'm a Braves fan. But I love Bryce Harper. And that was whenever he was a rookie and Cole Hamels hits him on purpose. Mm-hmm. And Bryce steals second, steals third, steals home.
Yep.
It's like, that guy's got guts.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the thing. He's not afraid to break the quote-unquote baseball norms.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the game of baseball is, like, deeply rooted in, like, these old ways, and it's stupid. Hunter Strickland hit Bryce Harper because he hit 2 home runs off of him 2 years earlier in the postseason.
And that's ridiculous.
2 years goes by, and you've seen this man.
You're still mad at the man.
No, but here's the thing, though. You have seen this man since then. You have faced this man since then. This is not the first time you faced him since the postseason games, and then you hit him twice.
And to re-jog my memory, this was against the Giants, correct?
Yes.
And the Giants were one of the worst teams in the league. What are you hitting him for? Are you jealous? He must have been jealous.
You know what's even crazier? Guess what year he hit him? 2014. Chase, do you know who won the World Series in 2014?
The Giants.
San Francisco Giants. So you hit a guy who hit 2 home runs off of you, and you still got a ring. How mad do you got to be?
Apparently, he's still.
I have a ring. I don't care. I am a world champion twice. I don't care. I don't. And you're gonna hit him twice? Or, I mean, hit him for hitting off you twice?
Yeah.
It just doesn't. It just blows my mind. But Bryce makes the game fun again, and he puts a jolt in there, like, because Mike Trout does the same thing, but Mike Trout's a little more reserved than Bryce Harper is.
He isn't as
outspoken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to find the word.
Yeah. He just kind of keeps his opinion.
Keeps to himself.
Yeah.
Goes about his business.
Well, see, the thing is Mike Trout leads more by example than Bryce Harper does.
Yeah.
Because Mike Trout has never had a bad, since his sophomore season, he's never really had a bad year. You know what I mean? And so
he's the definition of consistency.
Oh yeah, he is to this generation. He's the Derek Jeter of this generation, except he plays better. Class, never had off the field troubles, never been in trouble, never been in no scandal.
Stays healthy,
plays at a high level. You know what I'm saying? And so
he could go down as the greatest.
If anybody's worth $400 million, it's Mike Trout.
Yeah, and honestly, in my mind, I don't think any athlete's worth $400 million.
I don't think any athlete's worth $200 million. But if anybody's going to do that, it's going to be a guy like Altuve or Trout.
I'll say if it's spread out over a long period of time.
Okay. Yeah, of course. Yeah. But my thing is, for me to pay you that much money in any sport, you have to be able to increase the value of my franchise.
Yeah. If I'm able to make $400 million off Bryce Harper, and then some,
even if I'm able to make $200 million off Bryce Harper, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you gotta pay somebody more than, you know what I'm saying. So because Bryce Harper, obviously he sells jerseys, he sells tickets, all that type of stuff. So
sells memorabilia.
You know what I'm saying? So those guys, it'll bring the money in. But these MLB contracts are getting out of control.
With these contracts and with the players consistently wanting more, do you think the MLB eventually says, you know what, salary cap?
I think it'd be smart. Because, I mean, they got the luxury tax now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to stay under that.
But they don't have the NBA and NFL does, like that set.
Yep, the
cap.
Hard cap. Yep. I think it would be smart. But here's my only issue with it, though. They carry 25 people.
Yeah. Well, another issue is, though, a team that affects the team's payroll is all the minor leaguers.
Mm-hmm.
So would it just go? It'd have to go just based on the MLB roster.
Yeah, 25-man roster. I think that's how they'd get it done.
Yeah,
if they did
not the 40.
No, just 25.
Just 25.
I don't think the September call-ups that are equated to the 40-man roster. I don't think that should count.
Yeah, because one thing is about baseball compared to other sports is they do have a lot more moving parts in terms
But
of rosters.
and also that's the other problem with putting the cap space on there, is because if a guy goes to the 10-day DL, and you bring up a minor leaguer, does his league minimum, does it hit the salary cap as well for that 10 days? You know what I'm saying? So it'd be a very difficult thing to implement. I think they should have some type of like, you can't pay a player more than this or whatever, because like
they need to have some kind of
Manny
justifiable cap.
Machado getting $400 million. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I would lose my mind. And I think, and they're not wrong. Some of the people, the MLBPA, some of them are thinking a strike is on the way, and I don't want that to happen, but I don't think it's far off. Because you got baseball players, and I
love baseball. I hate to see a strike.
That's what I'm saying. Baseball is my love and passion, but I'm not mad at the owners for not wanting to pay all this money.
It's not like in the NFL where the players seem to be a little bit right. I feel like in the MLB the owners are kind of they're the ones on the short end of the stick here. They're the ones that's having to fork out all this ridiculous amounts of money.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I just don't think that these players are worth this amount of money. Now, if you can statistically show me that these players bring this money in, if you can show me that we're doing a good job of bringing this money and recouping this money, I'm fine with paying a player whatever they're worth. But I feel like that this problem is these players have gotten too greedy. They've gotten to where they just want as much possible money as they can get. Do you know how much $50 million is? That's $50 million.
It's crazy. If you go back and look at contracts from the 90s, early 2000s, compared to today,
the best pitcher one of the best pitchers at his time, Greg Maddux, was Scott Boras' client.
Mad Dog.
Scott Boras' client. He signed just south of a $60 million contract, and people thought that was ridiculous. And now you got Clayton Kershaw, who is worth almost every penny, in my opinion, for what he brings to the Dodgers. And 200 plus.
Yeah, and I know money has the worth of money has changed from then, but that's still crazy money to this day.
Yep.
$60 million.
And that's what I'm saying. I think people get caught up in trying to get quote unquote what they're worth.
Yeah.
And realizing that they're not even worth, some of these guys who are getting these master contracts, they're not even worth that.
Majority of people don't make $60 million in their entire life.
Exactly. And you got these guys making them in
Clayton Kershaw. 5 years.
Clayton Kershaw's average annual value is 31 point something, so he's making it in 2 years.
Exactly.
It's just absolutely ridiculous. You got Todd Frazier, who just signed for a $20 million deal. And he had like $215 last year.
Yeah.
There has to be some type, and I would not be mad at the owners for being like, yo, we gotta reel this in.
I can't blame him. I believe this is going to be a huge problem for Rob Manfred.
Yeah, but I feel like he would be the guy to
be able to sort it out,
fix it. You know what I'm saying, and be able to kind of reel it in.